What's up, Netrunner fans? It's been a long time since we've had some Netrunner footage on the channel, so I'm super excited to be back with a little bit of that. This is the first Winter Kit tournament for 2015, based out of, where were we? Heroes World in North York, Ontario. I'm on the right, obviously playing Noise as per usual, and to my left I've got a new opponent. Never played him before. His name is Aaron. He's newer to the game, and yeah, I was very excited to see a new opponent, and I don't know, help introduce somebody to the game. So he does have some experience, or a lot of experience, more than I expected. So it wasn't an easy game by any stretch. So I believe he took a mulligan, but I didn't. And this is the start of the match. So we've got Corp turn. He's playing ETF, and let's see what he does here. So he's got the install a new remote, gaining a buck, immediately putting a upgrade in that remote server with no ice, and he also iced R&D. So I would open with the Street Peddler. I love opening up with this card. Kind of gives you some options right off the go. I always hope to see, you know, a wild side or something that I can put out at a reduced cost. In this case, though, it is an imp, which works out for me. I get to check out that remote, get rid of one of the cards, or a card that I don't like. Not only that, but it also mills a card off of R&D as usual. So it's double-pronged trash going on there. And so I just had to remind him that I was milling a card, not making a run on R&D. So we got the mill. Click 2 is the run on the remote, accessing the top card first, but he just shows me both. And so we've got Breaker Bay and I think an Eve campaign. Obviously want to imp the Eve because it's the most expensive one and trash the Baker Bay. Using my own money dropped me down to 2 credits. Pawn shop and last click to draw, leave me at $1. So given the turn back over to Aaron, I've cleared out that remote that he has. He kind of has to start all over again. And so yeah, my apologies for not having too much Netrunner content over the past little bit. As you guys know, I've been really excited about Game of Thrones. Looked forward to that for a very long time. And so that's kind of been what has taken up the most of my time, other than Worlds, which I still need to upload my Worlds deck building videos for that. So he immediately installs over archives, kind of gives me an idea of what might be there, or maybe he's just bluffing it out, trying to get me to waste some time making a run in that direction. And then plays the archive memories to take back that face down card. So now it kind of seems like the ice over archives might have been a misplay, but HQ's wide open, so I do make the run there. And we see an NAPD, which I am going to imp. And so a lot of people are still confused about this ruling. Imp is allowed to trash agendas, regardless of if it's an agenda that has a cost to steal it or not. You can imp any agenda that you do encounter, and that's usually my strategy, just to avoid any potential sort of negative repercussions a la mid-seasons. So data sucker install, milling a card. And if you notice, I put out click trackers, but I rarely ever use them. Like, I'll use them 1 turn, skip 3 turns. I'll use 1 tracker and then not track the next 3 clicks. Like, I'm all over the place with those. So try not to pay too much attention to the left side of my board or the bottom of your screen, because I am terrible when it comes to that. Unless it's high level play like Nationals or Worlds or whatever, then I'm really diligent when it comes to the click trackers. But in regular tournaments like these, game night kits, I'm just so focused on other things. There we go. He's icing up a remote here and putting a card behind it immediately. So I pawn the imp, get myself some money because I was pretty broke there. I'm at 4 credits now. It's kind of hard to see what Aaron's credits are at because of is that a 20-sided die that he's using, so it's very, very small. Install a fresh imp, which mills a card. I think go broke playing wild side. I think I remember to tell him to mill like after he draws his mandatory. I'm so used to my opponents just doing it. So that was my mistake there. He reses Adonis in that remote. Now I gotta get in there as soon as possible, because I do not want to give him any type of money advantage out of HP, especially when I'm sitting at $0. Yeah, so I'm running him here just to mill the card. He ends up milling the card that he drew in the mandatory draw, and then just draws another one, I believe.
Because I played Imp, but you didn't mill a card off the top of your deck.
Okay, so I'll mill this, because that's the one that...
There we go.
Okay, so this is my mandatory draw.
Yep.
I will draw a card.
It looks like he draws. Ice is over HQ, gaining a credit. And last click, he draws again. Trying to get his hand size back up. So we got the mandatory wild side, looking for some pancakes, and the ability to pay for pancakes. Pawning data sucker to gain me 3 credits. I tend to go with the wild side before the pawn shop in most cases, unless there's cash out, just to kind of see what my options are, since you are able to choose which one you want to trigger first. So there's a fresh data sucker milling another card, and I believe that was just a mimic that I drew, or maybe that was pancakes actually. So that does look like pancakes. Pancakes, clot, deja vu. And I can't see the other two. We've got a mandatory draw. He's gaining that money off of the Adonis campaign, which irks me every time. I only like it when I'm the one that's playing the Adonis. When it's me that has it in play, it deserves to stay in play forever. When it's my opponent, I don't want to see it. Especially if they're playing the promo Ugly Beavers. So his hand size is now back up. He can do all the things. Creates a new iced remote with nothing in it currently. And tosses in something into that remote. So another data sucker bites the dust to, I assume, help me pay for this pancakes. Nope, click 2, check the new remote. Force him to do stuff. Spend some money or something. And we hit an Eli, so I'm going to bounce. Is that a cash too? I've got a cash in hand. Very nice. So that ends up working out pretty well for me. Getting the cash out, helping me pay for the pancakes. Next turn I can pawn cash. Not gonna lose a click anymore. So things are looking up. And so he's got the chocolate bar campaign in that second remote, making him all the monies. Selling chocolate, selling iPads. Camera's getting bumped around a little bit. Oh yeah, so again, this is the first winter kit tournament that we've had in Toronto. It is at a smaller store, so it had to get capped at 16 players, although we did allow a 17th to come in who did not pre-register. But all in all, it was a pretty fun tournament. I wish it would have went an extra round, 5 rounds instead of 4, but apparently there's going to be a bunch more and a lot more winter kit footage for you guys, so look forward to that. So he installs in that remote, double ices it, and advances. which means I got to get on my horse here and start finding some cards, finding some breakers, maybe a Faust or something, so I can start making some plays. And that looks like a David right there.
Outside of the camera range.
Oh, you're good.
Oh, and he's just readjusting his cards to keep everything in the camera frame. Good guy, Aaron. Good guy, Aaron.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So really just taking a second to figure out what to do here. Install a cache for my first click. Milling another card, gaining me a couple bucks. I've had worse to draw 3. Now that I don't have to worry about any type of kill. And at this point I was kind of just looking for a corroder. I wasn't really too worried about getting into that remote right away. There's a clone chip for click 3. I wasn't worried about getting to that remote right away. I mean, if I had to concede and give up 2 points, or concede 2 points early, that's fine. Still a lot of time for me to catch up. I mean, I have the wild side, I have the pawn shop, and the pancake. So from here on out, the deck moves pretty fluidly, and allows me to do whatever it is I need to do for the most part. So, and there's a parasite on the Eli, which also mills a card. So yeah, I wasn't too worried. I mean, and as you can see, I dropped the David there for any situation where I do manage to draw Corroder, make a run, and hit Turing, for example. I can clone chip the David and get through Turing just for 1 counter. Because I do not play any Code Gate Breaker. So it looks like he's about to score out here. We're just wondering if he does do that, is that going to leave him vulnerable somewhere else? Like Archives, which has a ton of cards face down in it right now, and an NAPD right for me to steal.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna. Ah.
Takes another peek at Archives and does decide to score out an NAPD. So at that point, I'm even happier that I didn't have to do anything crazy to try to get into that server. It would have cost too much. So we pawn the cash, put me up to $9.
No, there's no good.
Oh, I got one.
Install a Mimic in case you hit any Architects. Always over R&D.
Run HQ.
Okay, well, that's.
And it's an Enigma. Profound sadness. There's nothing I can do about that at this point.
Bounce and lose a click.
So, lose a click and end the run. So we got a Deja Vu. And let's see what we pull back. 1 cash, 2 cash. Try to get the money back up. And again, standard noise play. Might as well get the easy virus out. Gives you money, mills a card. So I drop a Faust and a repeat copy of Pawn Shop. So again, now Faust is another target that I can clone chip if I run into any issues making any runs on his next attempt to score. So double ice's archives.
Oh no, it was the same for Matsu, right? But it cost me 2 to res, and then I would need
Still
to
up
take
2-0, by the way.
Take it back before you random other guys, right?
Exactly.
So I'd be one credit short.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We have an
Okay, so let's run R&D. Is there anything there? So you don't gain money.
There was a lot of agendas.
So installing into
Something like 7 agendas in deck.
installing into the Eli and Unknown Ice remote. And because of the parasite on it, I kind of just assume that it's not an attempt to scores until he advanced it. So the parasite's at 2, need to get another 2 counters on it to blow up that Eli.
Outside.
More stuff to make me poor.
And really digging for Corroder here. Or another parasite to get rid of the Enigma over R&D.
Run archives?
And there's the Corroder in hand that was just drawn off of Wildside right there. So I do have the option of trying to make the run into that remote and installing on the fly, but chances are that the top piece of ice over Eli isn't going to be a barrier as well.
Yeah. Click 1. I'll mill 1.
So we got the cache install, likely a second cache install here.
Okay, so first click, let's run archives.
Good luck, man.
Same to you.
Take the NAPD. There. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
2.
Click 2 to manual draw.
And,
What is the red light?
Just recording.
Oh. I thought it just
3 is the install of cache. Because of Grimoire not being out, I can't keep both caches out, unfortunately. Losing out on some money there, having to install over the previous cache because of the parasite on the other side of the table.
Then I'm going to take 2 clicks So I put 3 advancement counters on it, and I get 2 money for each. Yeah. Basically, like,
And my last click.
if I didn't run it first, then I get.
And last click is a manual credit dropping the 3rd pawn shop.
So it's kind of.
Yeah, so the manual draw was just hoping to draw into a Grimoire so that when I do install the cache, 1, I gain more money off of it, and 2, to increase my memory. But he goes ahead and he scores a second NAPD, so that it doesn't bother me too much. If I would have made the run again, it would have cost me a lot to get in there. I would have to blow through a bunch of resources, and then I guess I could have imped the NAPD rather than pay to steal it. But
What's 1?
This means 1.
6.
Oh, okay.
Install and res, lose some credit.
either way, still 4-0 when you're playing noise isn't too bad because you know you can get that huge swing, 6 points, or even win the game all in one shot running on archives.
Yeah, I know.
So
But the pressure is on here to start finding some answers.
The reason I don't like to install cards
what my guy does is show you how to install it. You take the top card, you put it in space
And so there's the Grimoire finally. First click.
and I can use the counter to trash the card.
And that's huge because previously if I would have made the run and had to clone chip anything, I would have had to get rid of a card and install over it with the David or with the Faust and not get that money off of Pawn Shop. And anyone that plays noise knows how important it is to keep seeing that Pawn Shop money early and often. That's what really keeps the deck afloat.
It doesn't matter if they're not.
Click 2, I'll run R&D. I'll use clone chip.
So 2 are going to make the run R&D and pop the clone chip for a Faust. Because Enigma's already at 2, that means I just have to drop 2 cards.
And Set 2, so I'll drop 2 cards.
So flat
1.
and another pancakes.
To make access. We'll score.
Okay, so
Scoring a Project Vitruvius.
Don't you have to score?
I could aim it.
Oh yeah.
And so at this point, there's no real point in imping the agenda. I know that it's not playing a kill deck, as we talked about earlier. And so click 3 is the Deja Vu, taking back a double cash again, now that I have the memory to keep them out and be able to play them, get the extra money off of Grimoire, and then pawn them. All while continuing to mill out his deck.
And 4.
I don't access.
Last click, cash install.
Mill 1.
Don't you have only 3 clicks a turn because of wild type?
Adjust prototype. So I
Oh
can
yeah.
click it.
Oh, cool. Sure.
So game 3 and then the virus, you have to mill 1.
Okay.
And then that's it.
Run R&D.
Okay. Mandatory draw.
Oh, right. Okay, so I lose 1 for the res.
And I'm wondering if I forgot the Parasite. Oh, there we go.
This should be gone.
So Parasite did get blown up last turn. I was just thinking about that. I wonder if I forgot to put the counter on Parasite here.
2 and 1. Triple advance.
So now a little bit more for him to think about. All of his remotes are only 1 ice deep. All of his servers are 1 ice deep, aside from archives. So that makes it pretty easy to get in there with Faust. Don't even have to worry about clone chipping David out. So he's going to want to double ice before he installs anything else to score, you would imagine.
Dirty Laundry HQ. Okay. And I gained back 2 from security testing and 3. Alright, I'll rest this.
I like this.
Okay, I'll play this.
So immediately goes back to installing in that remote regardless. Getting a credit through the ETF and installs an upgrade.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's just literally speaking. When Councilman comes out.
Mandatory.
Mandatory draw.
I'll play this.
And finally double icing over R&D.
Here we go.
So as we said, that offers him a little bit more protection. It would be hard to... Well, it wouldn't be too bad. We know Enigma's going to cost 2 cards to get in. But not knowing what that top piece of ice is and not having a clone chip out means that making any type of reckless run could be pretty harmful to myself currently. So we run the remote and hit in Eli. At this point, I'm wishing that I would have had just played the Corroder out. So bounce off the Eli and look to install the Corroder.
Second click will be security testing your HQ.
It just has 3
Click 2 over an
Just kidding. Click 2's R&D run.
And you cash a card.
I should be at 7.
And then I'll run. Steal. And last is got it.
Okay, go.
Okay. There we go.
No res. And 2 cards for Faust to break through Enigma.
Faust.
Wild side, and I've had worse. To see, was that Assassin getting imped?
You're stealing?
Imp just gets trashed.
Oh, okay.
Advance twice.
So it's 2 clicks down.
This is all used.
3, I'll draw.
credits. Trash her to install one of them.
And 4 to
For installing the Parasite, which comes in with a counter, thank God, on the Enigma. So next turn, that Enigma is also gone. And things just get so much easier when you finally have your Grimoire out and you can kind of play whatever it is you want to play at a benefit.
Keith Jones, third. Yep.
And so here I'm thinking that behind that Eli there would be no way that he plays out an agenda. But then again, when he starts looking through his archives this way, it kind of makes me feel as though he's worried about, because I believe he's at 8 credits, so he's worried about spending 3 credits to score that potential agenda and not being able to res anything else. But then at the same time, being down 6-2 is kind of worrisome. Even though I know that he, as far as I know, isn't playing any type of biotic deck. Until I get a clone chip out, however, I still don't like the feeling of him looking at all of these cards. And so he does go out, ends up scoring an ABT, which puts him up to 6 points. Not enough money for a biotic if he was able to, fortunately. But even still, I'm really hoping to see a clone chip here.
No, the biggest thing is...
And the Enigma is supposed to be gone.
Sometimes I just don't have anything in play, and then I'm just like, hey, you got Archangel. I'll just run that a couple times, and now that I can...
quick one.
Right.
Lamprey.
That's pretty good if I turn against
So,
Use a credit.
Okay.
So
I guess we just left the Enigma in play. Either way, Lamprey's out now. Because of how little money he has, I know that I'm going to be able to kind of manual siphon him down.
and access.
because he's got the ability that
And there's a Bieber or Adonis campaign.
Trash it.
Quick three's back to HQ to take down his credits by an additional 1.
Grab my hand.
You had this one card, I think.
No.
Oh no, that was your. Maybe you.
Oh, he misplaced his hand. Put it on his archives.
So you get credit.
Okay.
And access.
So 2 Adonis.
Yeah, I'll trash it.
I wonder if I really let this Enigma stay in play.
And my last click. Oh,
And the last click is cash, gaining a little bit of that money back.
and that's you.
Talk about tunnel vision. Playing the Parasite on Enigma to get rid of it. Removing the Parasite when it hit 2 and just completely forgetting
Draw a card.
to wipe the Enigma off the board, but somehow remember that Lamprey comes in with 1 counter just because it's a virus. It's the MLG plays right there. I don't think I run R&D ever again, but even still. So he overrides whatever that ice was on HQ. Probably tired of leaking money out.
And I'll get a credit.
Gains a manual credit. So cash gets pawned. Now our money's back up after that Adonis double trash.
Click 1, I'll run HQ.
Immediately going back to HQ, keeping his money down.
Your timing is fine. Yeah.
I'm not doing anything with money. So I'm going to
How
take
much
the
cards
card
do you have
back.
in here?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Econ deck and all the cards are in the stack because I've been playing cash out.
Third click and the fourth click. Usually spend the 3 in the trash for 3 months.
Alright.
I gained a credit still.
No, no.
Oh, no, you jacked it.
And again, kind of giving it away that he doesn't want to res what's over HQ because he's worried about being able to afford archives. And to me, that kind of tells me that the card in HQ isn't an agenda.
Okay, I will. LS?
Yep.
So he reses Architect, but I have Mimic, which breaks through that pretty easily to let me access the last card,
Okay.
which is a Viper.
Click 2 on archive.
And click 2 is the archive run, which now he can't afford to res anything. I think he might have just forgotten that I had the Mimic out on the board to pay for the Architect. But
Oh, and then.
so we end up seeing the NAPD from earlier, an ABT, an ABT, and I have more than enough money to pay for the NAPD. So that is the game for Noise. So thanks again for watching, and look out for the future rounds. I will have the flip side of our match up in probably, I want to say, the next couple of hours. I'm hoping to post both of them up tonight, as well as a Game of Thrones deck building video. So again, thanks to everybody. Sorry about the delay in Netrunner content. I'm doing my best to keep up with both games. So thanks again for watching, and everybody take care. Peace.